Here's the right half of the nasopharynx. The openings from the two nasal cavities into the nasopharynx, here's the right one, are called the choanae, or posterior nares. The roof of the nasopharynx lies underneath the basilar part of the occipital bone. The back of the nasopharynx lies in front of the atlas vertebra. Here's the anterior arch of the atlas. In the mucosa of the lateral wall of the nasopharynx, there's a pronounced inward fold called the torus tubarius. It's produced by the inward projection of the cartilage of the auditory tube. The mucosal opening of the tube is here. Behind the torus tubarius is a deep recess, the pharyngeal recess. The floor of the nasopharynx is formed by the soft palate, which forms a highly mobile partition between the nasopharynx and the back of the oral cavity. The nasopharynx opens downward into the oropharynx. The soft palate can move upwards, backwards, and downwards. Its movements, which are important in swallowing and in speech, are produced by several small muscles. These converge on the soft palate from above and from below. Most of them insert on a sheet of aponeurosis, or tendon-like material, that occupies this part of the palate. To see these muscles, we'll remove the mucosa of the nasopharynx. Here's the end of the cartilage of the auditory tube. Here below it is the levator palati muscle. Its full name is the levator veli palatini. Levator palati moves the soft palate upwards and backwards. To see the tensor palati muscle, we'll remove the levator. Here's tensor palati. Tensor palati arises from this area, just above the root of the medial pterygoid plate. Here's the edge of the medial pterygoid plate. The fibers of tensor palati pass downward and forward towards the pterygoid hamulus, which is here. The tendon of tensor palati makes a complete 90-degree turn round the pterygoid hamulus. Here's the tendon emerging. It passes medially to insert on the palatal aponeurosis. Here's the end of the cartilage of the auditory tube. The cartilage doesn't form a complete tube. It's open on the underside. Here's the cut edge of the mucous membrane, which forms the real auditory tube. It passes backwards and laterally to reach the cavity of the middle ear.